And now, Anna Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. What? Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 4 ugly, mean stepsisters named Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona. Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors. Wash the dishes. Do it all. Said Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona all together. One day, the king and Quadrillion Hand's messengers said, "Hear ye! Hear ye! The king of Quadrillion Hand is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Forting." But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. "He's going to marry me," said Fiona. Ophelia said, "No way, Fiona! He's going to marry me." Ursula said, "Both of you are wrong! He's going to marry me." Ramona said, "All 3 of you are wrong! He's going to marry me." Later, Cinderella is so sad because she can't go to the ball and marry Prince 14, while her fairy godmother asks her what's wrong by saying, "Why are you crying, Cinderella?" Cinderella responds, "I got lots of chores to be done. I can't go to the ball and marry Prince 14. Cinderella's fairy godmother said, "I can help with a bit of magic." Cinderella's fairy godmother chants the magic words, "Quiddity, quaddity, quaddity, quoo," and waves her magic wand. Because of that, all of Cinderella's chores are all done. But Cinderella's fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, "Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin." Luckily, Cinderella has 4 pumpkins. Cinderella's fairy godmother said, and then chants the magic words, "Quiddity, quaddity, quaddity, quoo," and waves her magic wand to turn the 4 pumpkins into a handsome coach drawn by 8 strong horses. And then Cinderella's clothes into a gathered crowd. Cinderella said, "I've never seen such a quadtastic gown. And get a lot of my glass slippers." Her fairy godmother said, "Have fun, mighty Cinderella. But I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will turn back to the way it was before." Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Fortune was wondering who he should marry. Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona said all together, "He's walking towards me." But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince 14 dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realizes it's midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost both her glass slippers. Prince 14 was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled all around Quadrillion Hand to find her, and brought the 2 tiny glass slippers with him. He knocked on the door of the home where Cinderella and her stepsisters live, but instead of Cinderella, he finds Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, and Ramona. He then said, "Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Getting out here and trying on these glass slippers. Fiona is first, but her feet are too big. Ophelia's next, but her feet are too small. Ursula and Ramona did the same thing, but their feet don't fit either. Suddenly, Prince 14 notices Swarla's sweet singing. The glass slippers fit! Swarla gets so excited because she's happy to have her Prince 14 back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And if you want to see some sequels, tell your friends about it. And then, take care, Andrew Stores. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Fiverella, based on the story of Cinderella. Andrew's Doors, I hope you enjoyed it. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Fiverella. Fiverella had four ugly, mean stepsisters. Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella. Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella made Fiverella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella. One day, the king of Fivingham's messenger said, Hear ye, the king of Fivingham is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Quitabling. But Fiverella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Fiona said, He's going to marry me. Isabella said, No way, Fiona. He's going to marry me. Verona said, Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Ella said, All three of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, Fiverella is so sad that she cannot go to the ball and marry Prince Quintupling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother asks, Why are you crying, Fiverella? Fiverella responds, I got a lot of chores to be done. I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Quintupling. The fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic. Quantity, woo! The fairy godmother's magic did all the chores and then turned Fiverella's do-rag and ribbed dress into a gown and crown. Fiverella said, I've never seen such a quintastic dress. And get a load of my glass slippers. But she's not done yet. The fairy godmother said, Fetch me. Fiverella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Fiverella has 5 pumpkins. And the fairy godmother turned the 5 pumpkins into a handsome coach. It's drawn by 10 strong horses. The fairy godmother said, Have fun, Fiverella, but I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Fiverella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Quintupling said, Who should I marry? Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella said all together. He's walking towards me. Well, he's not walking towards any of them, but Prince Quintupling is walking towards Fiverella. Fiverella and Prince Quintupling danced happily together. But later, Fiverella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball. And when she was running so fast, she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Quintumbling was so worried that she might never see Fiverella again. So he traveled all around Fivingham to find her, bringing the tiny glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door where Fiverella and her 4 ugly mean stepsisters live. Prince Quitone said to her stepsisters, Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Fiona is first. But her foot is too small. Isabella is next, but her foot is too big. Verona and Ella are last, but neither of the feet match. Suddenly, Prince Quintumbling noticed Fiverella's sweet singing. Prince Quintumbling, is that really you? Of course it's me, Fiverella. Fiverella is so excited because she's happy to have her Prince Quintumbling back. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. And take care, Andrew Stewards. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Bye. And now, Andrew Knows Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella, with a bit of a twist. Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 4 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella. Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella all together. One day, the king of Nottingham's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Nottingham is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Nottingham. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. He's going to marry me, said Nina. Isabella said, No way, Nina! He's going to marry me! Natalia said, Both of you are wrong! He's going to marry me! Ella said, All 3 of you are wrong! He's going to marry me! Later, Cinderella is so sad about not going to the mall and marrying Prince Nottingham while doing chores. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks Cinderella what's wrong by saying, Why are you crying, Cinderella? Cinderella responds, I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Nottingham, but I have lots of chores to be done. Cinderella's fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic, and waves her magic wand. Because of that, Cinderella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, Cinderella has 9 pumpkins and 18 mice. Cinderella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to tell her the 9 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 18 mice into horses, and Cinderella's rich clothes into a gown and crown. Cinderella said, I've never seen such a not-a-tastic gown, and get a load of my glass slippers. How can I ever thank you enough? Cinderella's fairy godmother said, well, you can't. But have fun, Cinderella. But I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Nodompling was wondering who he should marry. He's walking towards me, said Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella all together, but he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. May I have this dance? Asked Prince Nodompling. Cinderella responds, I would be delighted. Cinderella and Prince Nodompling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Nodompling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled all around Nodompling to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. By the time he arrives, he knocks on the door of the home where Cinderella, Nina, Isabella, and Natalia and Ella lived. But instead of Cinderella, he finds Nina, Isabella, Natalia, and Ella. Prince Nodompling then said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Nina is first, but her foot is too big. Isabella is next, but her foot is too small. Natalie and Ella did the same thing, but none of their feet are the right size either. Suddenly, Prince Nodompling noticed Cinderella's sweet singing. The glass slipper fits! Cinderella gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Nodompling back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. Andrew's Doers, I hope you enjoyed this story. And if you want to see some sequels to Cinderella, something like that, etc., tell your friends about it. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And buy our merchandise too on AndrewDoesEverything.com. Take care. Bye.